Hi, and welcome to Accountability Saturday this week. I actually was on live at 11:30, but something came up, and unfortunately, and ironically, my second Accountability Friday um, was not possible because I had someone show up early. We had miscommunication about the timing of things. Um, so I'm excited to continue with my accountability videos, and I believe I should be back on live next week. Let me just double check here that I am available on April 4th. Yes. Yeah, so April 4th, I'll be back on for a Accountability Friday live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Um, so I just wanted to chat about my week, and this might be a bit of a shorter session because I'm late, but talk about my goals and maybe some time management strategies. So if you are watching this, if you wouldn't mind commenting down below what some of the goals you had for the week were and how you're doing with those goals. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to keep us all inspired. Um, so let me talk about some of my goals from last week and whether I was able to accomplish them. So to start, I wanted to focus on my online presence a little bit more. So I did create ads for my CEs and I updated my dates for the CEs. I also updated my email list and started to look at the coursework. In addition to that, I also reached out to another venue that I might be able to teach my CEs in, and reached out to a venue that I had offered CEs in the past. And so I'm setting up dates in other locations as well. So I'm excited about that. Unfortunately, I did not actually write my blog, so that's something I'll have to put over to this week. Although I do have something in my head about what I want to write about, so it should come out pretty quickly once I get there. Um, my personal goals, I had a goal to do yard work. So I did deal with my signage, so that's cleaned up and posted outside at the end of the property. And I did get the sticks picked up. That actually was faster than I thought it would be because my partner volunteered to help me. Um, so that made very quick work of it. I didn't have to spend as many hours on it as I thought I would. I wanted to start seeds as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get to that, although I did set up the shelving and brought in the containers for it. I just didn't get the dirt, so I wasn't able to get the seeds started. So that'll have to be pushed back a week too. Trying not to get discouraged, even though I didn't complete all of my tasks, that doesn't mean that I failed. I also had a goal to finish my hat, and I'm realizing that knitting is a relaxing project for me. So, uh, those kinds of projects I'll be doing as I'm winding down for the evening. Um, so, I did accomplish that. So, looking forward to next week, I'm going to make a list of personal and work goals. So, I'm making a column for personal and work. And I also want to say that I found my 2025 calendar. I brought it with me to my CE class, and apparently I hadn't taken it out, even though I usually do look at things throughout the week to address like when I should accomplish things. Um, so some work goals, as I said, I do want to get that blog written. So that'll be probably something I do very soon to get that out of the way. What else did I not accomplish that I wanted to? Oh, I wrote Facebook, so I want to put things on Facebook a little bit more through my business. And I also want to put my CEs as events. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that this week. I also want to create like a Canva post about or something on Canva that lists out all of the dates of my classes and encourages people to go to my website. Um, I would actually like to be a little more up to date with my socials. The great thing about Meta is that you can schedule things in advance. So there's no reason I can't spend maybe an hour or two just scheduling out simple updates through throughout the month or throughout even the year. Um, there was actually a great sponsored post by Gloss Genius that's had massage quotes. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the liberty of using them as my inspiration for some of my Canva posts. So I have them going too. Um, to have nothing posted for weeks is just not really great for business if you're trying to bring in new customers, even though I'm feeling fairly confident with my consistency. Um, I also am on the tail end of finishing my taxes, so I'm making a note about that. Hopefully, I can get my taxes done this week. We've been back and forth with my accountant. So I'm making a note of that, knowing that that's going to be very easy. Um, so I do need to dive into breaking those down a little bit more in more detail, but I want to Um, also, talk about some of my personal goals. I said already the seeds need to be done. I need to clean up the yard now that we have about a week with no frost. So I want to get some of that cleaned up. Like weeds and stuff that I leave out for, not weeds, but roughage that um, you know years ago people would pick up at the end of fall, but I leave it there so that the animals can burrow into it until it's warm enough for them to find other places to stay. So I'm going to spend some time on that. Um, is there anything else I really want to think about with my personal goals? I am also going to try to walk for 2 hours at least for the week, not each time, but a total of at least 2 hours on top of my regular workout routine since it's starting to get nice out. Um, so I now have my goals. I'm gonna just sit here actually with my um, calendar and map out when I'm gonna do things. And I like to write these things in pencil so that when I accomplish them, um, I can just put a check mark next to it. But if I don't accomplish them, I can just add them to another day. Or maybe I need to take something out of a day because it's booked up with clients, which is actually what happened last week. So I'm happy that I wasn't able to get all of my goals accomplished. Oh, I should also notate that I have a special service coming up and I need to get the word out about that. So that includes email, posters, and socials. So, my day is actually almost done for Saturday. So I'm actually just gonna do a little bit tonight, and I think that's gonna be the blog post. So 30 minutes writing my blog post. That'll happen tonight. Um, Tomorrow, I want to really chill. After this week, I need a little bit more of R&R. So I actually blocked my schedule for the following several Sundays, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of work as far as things in my work life, and then I'm going to focus on personal stuff. So, an hour and a half, maybe in the morning, of updating my, well, what do I want to do first? My special. So, send that email first, then make something on Canva, and that takes it to post to my socials. Um, if I have more time, I'll do some other things on Canva. But I'm gonna just start with the specials. Beyond that, thinking about the Canva goals, I'd like to have a post a week, and having um, those quotes that were from Gloss Genius, I think will really get me there, because there were, I think, 39 of them. So that's good inspiration, and that'll allow me to add different things as well. Oh, another work goal I need to create is what I did yesterday was a video shoot of one of the services I offer. And I'd like to split that up and include that in my socials. So the video is something that I need to edit. Um, Seeds, that is an excellent goal for a nice weekend like we have this weekend. So I'm actually going to spend 2 to 3 hours on that. Um, and then I'm going to focus on some personal stuff, get some R&R, maybe do some socialization. So that's this weekend. And then we're looking into April. April days has September, April, June, and November. Oh, wow. It really got windy all of a sudden. So yeah, Monday is still March, but then we're looking at April. Um, so on Monday, I want to make sure my taxes are done. I have some other personal things like filling prescription, um, paying some bills. And I think I'm going to do some yard work. Let me just double check the weather here. Oh, goodness. Wow, they're really calling for a lot of rain this week. So the yard work might have to go to Wednesday, even though Wednesday is a pretty busy work day for me. And maybe I'll move the seeds over to tomorrow and do some yard work today. Or that, I may not get everything done this week. It may have to move over to next week. Um, all right. So Tuesday is a pretty calm day. I actually also need to make a trip to that venue. So I think I'm going to do that on Tuesday morning. Maybe I'll go out to lunch, and at lunch I can work on some of my socials. So that'll be about an hour or maybe 45 minutes. And then also I'll do some socials on Thursday. Socials and edit my video. And even though it's Saturday, I'm going to go ahead and reach back out to you on Friday. So we will see each other again at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Oh my goodness, I had another thought. I updated the emails. I need to write my email for continued education. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of that on Tuesday. No, you know what? Tuesday, I think it's just going to kind of book up for me. I have a feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and Wednesday, even though it's already booked, I have some gaps that won't be filled. So that'll be a great opportunity for me to send that Con Ed email. Um, Something that I'll need to think about in the following week is I have an event coming up in the summer and I need to do some prep for that. So I'm going to make that a goal for the next week. Um, and um, schedule my vacation. I need to work on that as well. So, um, let me talk about a couple of things I have learned with time management and hitting some goals. So, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll pull up the Google. So, the first thing is the Pomodoro method. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method based on 25-minute stretches of focused work broken by 5-minute breaks. Longer breaks, typically 15 to 30 minutes, are taken after 4 consecutive work intervals. Each work interval is called a pomodoro, the Italian word for tomato. Developer and entrepreneur Francesco Cirillo created the Pomodoro technique in the late 80s when he was a university student and used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to organize his study schedule. At first, he experimented with different work intervals, starting with 2 minutes and extending them up to 1 hour. He quickly realized that these were getting too long to stay focused on a task. He settled on 25-minute Pomodori as the optimal time for his needs. From this, Cirillo recognized that his time could be turned into an ally rather than a source of anxiety. The Pomodoro technique essentially trains people to focus on tasks better by limiting the length of time they attempt to maintain that focus and ensuring restorative breaks from the effort. This method also helps them to overcome their tendencies to procrastinate or multitask, both of which are known to impair productivity. So I use this a little bit. That's why I like to set out how much time I'm going to do things. Um, so this allows me to, I have Alexa. I don't have an actual egg timer, but I just tell Alexa to set a timer for a short period of time, a half an hour or less of whatever I'm working on, and then I switch it up. Um, So, if you're taking way too long getting around to, say, vacuuming the carpet, guilty. Um, Set a timer saying, I need to take a break. You set it for 15 minutes, set it for 5 minutes, whatever. Then you get up and do it. You set a timer for, say, a half an hour. If you don't get it vacuumed in the half an hour, you can stop. And it's really great. So the core process, you choose a task for the Pomodoro, you set the timer, work on the task until the timer solves, then record completion of the Pomodoro. You take a 5-minute break, and then you go again. So you do that up until you finish the process. Something else I like to point out as far as time management is the Eisenhower principle. And I think as business owners, this is really important because we're working with a small budget. Uh, but we have so much to do. So basically, this is task management. We need to think about what really needs to be done and what really needs to be done by us. So think about whether something is urgent or not urgent and how important it is. So do tasks that have deadlines or consequences. Um, Schedule things that have unclear deadlines, but they'll contribute to long-term success, like what we're doing here. Delegate tasks that have to get done but don't require your specific skill set, and delete distractions and unnecessary tasks. So, for example, taxes. This falls into all four quadrants for me. So, if I don't get them filed by April 15th, there are consequences. So, I definitely want to make sure that they get done. There are certain things that only I can provide, like my receipts and my numbers. Um, I schedule out when I can speak with my accountant because she's the one who can file them for me. I delegate that out to her. Do I need to also look at my money for 2025 as I'm doing this? No, so I can delete those distractions. So there you have four things. A lot of massage therapists will think, oh, I need to do all of my marketing. I need to build my own website. And that's fine if you want to do that, but think about whether you really need to. Can you delegate that task to someone else? You'll still have work to do. You'll still need to provide the information that you want on there. You'll still need to provide photos and review things, but you can send that over to someone who has that skill set as well. If you're someone who's not great at socials, guilty myself, maybe it's something to consider to hire a virtual assistant. So think about whether you can delegate those tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And we actually are almost at a half an hour. So if you are watching this, whether live or are watching it later on YouTube or in our Facebook group, Home Based Body Workers, please comment below any goals that you have for the week, whether you accomplished the goals you set for last week, or if you need some advice on something. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about next week except for my goals. So I'd love to hear from you and see what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to talk to you again soon.